Hello, everybody. My name is Mariah, and I want to speak about my experience that I had with Justira and how the healing of my home and the land went.
What was your day-to-day life before you chose to work with me to heal your home?
I would say my day-to-day life was very chaotic. There were so many things going on inside the home that I thought was normal. I seen things and I really didn't pay attention. Before starting the process, I was very blind to a lot of things. So I would say very chaotic, very a lot of different energy going on, different things happening. It was insane.
Ugh, I always feel so bad, like, whenever you talk about how it
Oh,
was before, and
it
I'm
was
like,
so
"Damn," like,
bad. Like,
Mariah really got put through
ugh,
it.
so many sleepless nights. Oh, it was so insane. Now I go to sleep and I stay asleep all night.
If someone were to observe you before you decided to move forward, how would they describe your daily life?
Chaotic, crazy. I remember like during like the days that um when these things would appear and show themselves, um I was called crazy because I was seeing things that I didn't understand yet. So I was being called crazy, or you're just there, it's all in your head, and you need help. And that's even before actually getting in debt with things. Like, I literally thought like, hey, maybe I really had a problem, like maybe I was seeing things that weren't there because I was still not fully aware of what was really going on. So I would say people would be like, you're crazy, especially with some of the things that I was able to catch with my camera. And I would show people, I'm like, what do you guys think? They're like, no, girl, I think you're crazy.
Yeah, that's so awful when people just automatically want
Mhm.
to say that the things that you've directly experienced with your own eyes and things that you've literally felt, that it has to not be the truth just because it's something that other people haven't experienced for themselves, and then they automatically dock it as fake and that you're
It's crazy.
overreacting.
Right, it's crazy because during some of the time where the things were showing out, we had family there and they still acted like I was the problem. Like, you guys seen that, because I know you guys seen that, the way you guys reacted, and they still put it on me like, no, it's all in your head, you'll be okay, we'll be okay, let's just brush it under the carpet. Like, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I definitely definitely understand that. Unfortunately.
Yeah,
What made you realize that now was the right time to commit?
this is I think I'm gonna get emotional. uh, like, I had to do it, because I felt like I was losing my family, especially my daughter. She was gone, weeks at a time. And like, I never knew if these things were gonna hurt her or not. Like, that was my main concern. Was like, why isn't nobody listening to me? Like, these things are there. And then like my thing was I had to do it. Like, there was no let me wait an extra day. Like, I don't know where I would have been if I would have never sent you that message that one day, because dealing with these things, like, they can hurt you. Just with the experience that I went through, like, I was like, nope, it's time to buckle down. Like, it's not going to be easy. And then I was terrified because I didn't know exactly what I was going into, what was going to be the reaction. I had already went through a lot, from seeing my husband being mounted, and I didn't know exactly what I was going into and what was actually gonna like happen. But that day that I wrote you, I was like, enough is enough. Like, I can't keep letting these things have control of my home and my family. I was like, that's it. Oh, being in the home every day was so exhausting. I was like, man, why do I feel so tired? I was like, yeah, we got to do something.
Yeah, you really did go through a lot. Even I can't believe how much
And
came out.
it was so hectic. It just I was like, oh my goodness. I knew I knew there was something there, but I never knew to that extreme. Like it was, you know, it was pretty intense. Um, Leading up to even the last day, it was intense. Like it goes back to people not believing me. Oh no, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing. There's nothing. No, there is something. And then having to deal with other people who are supposed to be there for you and supposed to help you during your spiritual journey, and then that person not even believe you. And you know, my husband's godfather, he was telling me that I was the problem, that I was crazy. Like it sucks where people never believe. And it's like I sit here and think about it. Last night I was thinking about it. I was like, did something have to happen to either me, my husband, or my daughter for other people to actually believe what we were going through? And it's I still sit and think about like everything that I went through, and it's like, girl, you made it. I was like, wow, I thought like it was never gonna like end. Never. I was like, this I felt like they were stronger. It's not on my end, but on my husband's end, since he was so weak and he had dealt with that for so many years. I was like, why can't you see this? Like I just wanted to like choke him and like wake up. Like, how are you not seeing these things? Like it was awful.
Yeah. And it also just keeps going back to the fact that you weren't being heard and you weren't being taken seriously.
Yeah, it was
Because
awful.
these
I
things
just
would have been dealt with a lot sooner if people actually not even trusted what you were saying, but
believed.
would have even just been like, oh, maybe we should just check it out just in case. Even if I don't believe that something is actually happening, it doesn't hurt to actually check. And they didn't even the the fact that no one wanted to check and see if there was anything because of how
It was
insistent you were about the problem, like that, it's crazy.
there was a time before I started even working with you where they had me convinced that it was me, that I was the problem, that I had my guard down, where I
Yeah.
was allowing these things to bother and to, you know, enter in me. And it was never like that. So I was like, when I met you and I took that chance that one day, I was like, I knew that, like I knew something in me told me like this is it, this is what I have to do, because if not, like I said, I don't know where I would have been today, like, or my daughter, or these things could take control. And it was awful, but I'm glad I took that first step.
Yeah. I'm really glad too because I was scared for for a while for you.
It was
Uh,
awful.
what were the things that you were most concerned about before committing?
I was so terrified that you weren't going to be able to help me. That was like my main thing. I was like, oh my goodness. And how about if she can't help me? Like, you know, or like, how about if, because before, you know, before we got into pricing and before I even worked with you, I had spoke to other people, and, you know, people want millions of dollars to help people. And I was like, oh my God, how about if it's not going to work? How about if I can't afford it? How about if it's just, you know, she taps into the home in the land and she's like, no girl, this is too much for me and I can't do it. That was my main concern, because like who else would I have, you know, went to? Because it goes back to people don't believe. So that was my main concern, was like, oh my God, if she can't help me, this is gonna be bad. Even when I sent you the first message, I think, because I had sent you a message and I just sent you a picture or a video of my living room. And then I wrote you the message, and then I was worried. I was like, how
Hmm.
about if she's not going to be able to write me? You know, how about if she's busy where it's going to take her months to get back to me? And those were my main concerns, because, like I said, I felt like it was then that I had to do it.
What was holding you back the most?
I would say what was holding me back the most is my husband had this dark soul attached to him, and it had took over him so much where he made me believe when it would show itself and present itself that it was part of his spiritual court, that it was okay. I always told him, I was like, hey, I don't think a guide, when it presents itself, it's supposed to cause worry. Every time it would show itself, it would cause worry. Like I knew that this was something like not normal, like not okay. But he convinced me to the point where he's like, no, it's fine. I think I lasted with that thing appearing itself. I think it was what, like 2 or months, where every so often it would appear, and it would cause me so much like worry, and I was like, this is not normal. So um that's what was one of the main things that was holding me back, because I was convinced that this was normal.
I always feel like nauseous going back to the Dark Souls.
It was,
That was
and it's
something
so
else.
crazy because the tree, remember the tree that we spoke about? Like every day, like
Mhm.
when I come into my house, so when I go into my apartment, my parking space, it's like I'm looking at it every day. And it brings back so much
Mhm.
freaking bad memories. But it's like this last 2 weeks, the tree has been dying. Like it started with a little
Mm.
opening, and now it's like a big opening. Like all the branches are dying. And I was like, that I can't wait for it to disappear. I
What made you realize that you could trust me to do this work for you?
You didn't judge me. You didn't question me. Like the moment I wrote you, you listened. All my concerns, you always listened. There was never a time where you didn't respond to me. I was like, oh, this girl's got to be tired of me, because I had so many questions. And then there were so many instances where different things were happening. And, I was messaging you, asking you if this was okay, like what should I do? Um, I don't know. Since the first day that I wrote you, and like I said, you just listened. That's when I knew. I was like, okay, she's someone that I can trust with this, because she's about her shit. You never made it seem like I was the crazy one. Like never. Like even up until recently, that when you helped me with my daughter, you never sat here and been like, oh, maybe this is just her being traumatized from whatever she went through. It's like that's the good thing about you, is that you always take the time to listen to someone and gather information, and then look into it and see if what's going on is something to be concerned about. So that's one thing. Like trust with you was, it was right there since the beginning.
Try not to cry.
It's hard because, especially like in the
Like,
spiritual journey and world, a lot of people want to say, yeah, you have something bad, just to take your money. And I never felt like that with you. Never. I always tell people like to write to write you, because you've helped me. And I've always tell you like, uh, like that moment that I lived, like you helped me so much. And till what, a couple days ago, you still help me. So it's like, to find people who like genuinely care about people like this is awesome, because like I said, I could have not have been here. My daughter could not have been here, or I could have lost her. She could have, you know, went with my dad, or my husband could have killed himself, because that's where it was headed to, because these things had so much control of him, where it was like, it was awful. But I knew, like, once you tapped in, and the things you told me, I knew these, like, I could trust you, and I still trust you, like, hands down, eyes shut. I know you'll always help me. And even you mentioned that if you couldn't do it by yourself, you would bring someone in to help you. So I was like, okay, like, she's very serious.
mhm.
It's so hard to find trustworthy people. It's hard. And then, especially with something, after we learned what was going on in the home, with something so serious, it was just not one thing. It wasn't just two things. It was a lot of different things. And especially with me, whenever you had told me what exactly was going on, and I was able to look into exactly what they were, it was no joke. And it was like you came, like it was a blessing how you came into the group, because I remember when we was in the WhatsApp group with the other girls, like there was times where you had shared things, and I was like, maybe I should write her. But again, it goes back to me, like I've had so many people tell me, "You're crazy, you're crazy, you're crazy, you're crazy," where I was like, maybe she'll be able to help me. And then especially when I was speaking about the neighbors that I had at the time, and like what you confirmed, like they were like weird. Like I was like, okay, I knew that's like I knew I could trust you. And like I said, I'll always go to you. Um, especially when it has anything to do with this stuff, because you brought so much light into a dark place. I mean, there's still I still like sometimes kind of worry about certain things, because now thanks to you, like I've opened to see things now, and I know what to look for. And it's like, okay, let me go back to when I was working with Jasira, looking at certain things, looking at certain patterns, like something's not adding up. And like I said, I owe you my life. Because I don't know where, like, honestly, I don't know where I would have been. I don't know if I would have been alive. I don't know if, like, my main thing is I didn't want to lose my daughter. I was like, I have to put trust in her that she is going to help me, because, like, our life depends on it at this point, because nobody here is taking me serious. And just even our conversations back and forth, you bring so much, like, how would I say it? Like, light energy, and you take your time to write people. Like, we still talk to this day about certain things, and you're not like one of these other people who are always bothered, like, oh, if you want to talk to me, if you even have a question, you have to send me money. Like, you've never, when it was just like a simple question, you've never like told me, oh, for me to answer you, you got to pay me. Like, it's never been that. And I feel like I wish there was so many more people like you in this spiritual world. You're awesome, and you don't give yourself enough credit. I don't know if I told you. I think I told you, or I was telling somebody. I was like, I feel like I've known her forever. It's like, I don't know what it is. And like, I have goosebumps. And it's like, I feel like I've known you forever. You don't judge anybody. You work with people, and it's just awesome. Like, I hope that with my interview, more people who are going through these things will, um will listen. And if they have the chance to work with you, I hope they do work with you, because you're awesome at what you do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now that we have completed the work on your home and various other things, how does your life look like now, and how have things continued to improve?
My home, and me, my daughter, and my husband, we're so much better. Like, it's night and day. It's back to where I don't want to ever leave home. Like, there was a time where I was like, nope, get me the hell up out of here. Like, now I love being home. I don't want to leave. And it's awesome. Like, leaving home all day. I don't care about the world. My daughter's comfortable. Like I mentioned, now there is, after all that, I've learned what to look for. Um, there was like times I couldn't even get up and use the bathroom at night, because one of the many things that was in the home was in the bathroom. And I was like, I wouldn't even get up to use the bathroom. I would be like sitting in bed. I'm like, oh, I have to use the bathroom, but nope, we're not gonna get up. It's crazy how these things work. I remember even taking showers. I would feel something, and I was like, what is this? And it's like every time I would get in the shower, I would have negative thoughts. And I was like, but what's going on? Like, the most
Hmm.
affected area, I feel like it was in the bathroom. And I was like, man, what is this? Now, 1 o'clock in the morning, I'll go sit in the tub with some Epsom salt, just relaxing. It surprises me, and I'm so so happy that things that I wasn't able to do before, I can do now. Um, and my house is peaceful. It's back to how it felt when I first moved in back in 2019. It's nice. Like, when you walk in, you can feel the peace, the relaxation, the joy. Like, it's just wonderful.
I'm so happy for you. You
Yeah,
really
I'm
went through a
I'm
lot.
I did, like, that man. I the like I said at the beginning, the exhaustion. Like every time I would go home, I would always have this sadness. I was like, and I didn't realize it, but it was just like it was so heavy and it's so tiring. Like I was just miserable. The
Mm.
constant arguments, the chaoticness. But now, I mean, we'll argue about little things. But now it's just it's awesome. I mean, even my dogs are even happier. It's crazy how um that affected my animals too. I don't
I'm
want to
so happy
move.
for
Like,
you.
like I said, I'm lucky I found you. And especially when you gave me my new house spirit. He's always there for me. Like I can feel it and it's awesome. It's like you just don't help removing things, but you help bring in good things too. And it's just awesome. Like that experience that I went to through, it was not the best. And like I said, if there's anyone who sees this and you feel just like the little there's something wrong, like don't wait, don't let anyone convince you that that's normal. Like follow your instinct, because that was one of the main things that was wrong with me is um I had something that was convincing me that what I was feeling was not true as well. So I was like, I felt like I was being attacked by every angle. So I'm glad that I was finally able to be like, listen, it was time, and I'm happy. I know, this world, we live in a shitty world, and I know things are gonna happen. I would never want to go through that again, and it was just awful. Um, I've never experienced seeing things like up close and personal. I was like, this is not like it was just I've always seen things on like the TV and like movies and stuff like that, but I was like, I've never experienced something like that. So to have someone there to like believe me, that's all I wanted, was just one person to believe me, just one. It's good to have that one person who would listen and finally like helped. So I like I said, I always appreciate you. I always recommend you to everybody. um and many blessings to you, and I hope more doors open for you too, because you're, like I said, you're awesome at what you do. And like I said, if there was more people like you, I feel like a lot of us would not be going through the stuff that we we go through.
Trying, and I don't even know what to say besides, you know, thank you. Thank you for trusting me so much to begin with. Um, the it means a lot to me as a practitioner that, out of everyone else that you spoke to, that I was the one that you were able to trust to do this. And like you said before, that I actually was able to help you. So I'm I'm just very grateful that I can even help in the first place, and that you also felt comfortable with trusting me with your home, and your daughter and your husband and you, and it's a lot, it's a lot of responsibility, and I don't take it lightly. So thank you.
I will always listen. If I feel itch, I'm gonna be like, nope, let me message this here, because like I said, the work that you've done, it's like it still impresses me. Like you helped me a couple days ago, and then after you did what you did, I messaged you. I was like, girl, you still surprised me. Like this is not my first rodeo. And it's like it's still surprising, because as soon as that was done, it was like night and day. It was like it was total. My daughter was back to herself. And like I said,
Mhm.
I'll always go to you. And at this, like, I have my godfather. I don't even talk to him about these things, and I won't either, because it's just people don't take the time to listen. And you listen. And like I said, you don't judge anybody. You're always there. Like you'll write me, I'll write you, and then we'll talk like at 12, 1:30 in the morning, and you're still there. And that's where I feel like a lot of practitioners, they're only about their money. And oh, you want to look into that? Well, I'm gonna need some, and it's never like that with you. And the prices, I feel like you're super affordable, and you work with people, you understand. Not everyone may not have it, at then and there, and you work with people, and that's one of the biggest things, like, that kind of, like, he kind of gave me a sense of peace. Like, like I said, I was, one of my big worry was it was going to be it's so expensive that I wasn't going to be able to afford it, and I was going to be in that same situation. So like I said, I'm so happy I took that leap of faith, and I feel like you were placed in my life for a reason, and it was to get rid of those things.
Thank you again.
No, my pleasure. Thank you. And like I said, I always refer people to you. You know, uh, I have someone who's kind of skeptical, and I was like, don't be skeptical, because she's the real thing, and you've actually helped me with, like, opening myself to see things, to believe in what I feel, and to sit with myself for a minute and ask myself, like, hey, is this what it is, or maybe it's your mind playing with you. But and I appreciate that too, because I felt like I've connected with my ancestors more. Like, I'll sit with myself and I'll ask my mom for a signal, and it'll take me a little while, but I'll receive that message, and people, like I said, you've helped me so much, and I just hope you have many, many blessings and more clients, and people can meet you, and the good work you do. Oh, and then your readings with your cards. Ugh. Everything you said was spot on. I didn't have to tell you anything. I would just be like, "Hey, I have a question," and I'd ask you my questions, and you would come back with the response and in debt and more. So, you just don't do the land healing and the home. You do, your readings, and you do many more things. So, like I said, if this helps anybody, like, just, even if you have that slightest eek, man, just send her a message. It doesn't hurt to see if there's anything going on.
Do you want to go more in depth with Mary Elise with La Llorona?
Yeah, we can do that. We can go a more in depth. She had told me that she was seeing things. I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I felt like at first, so I messaged you, what, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I had messaged you that my daughter and my husband were seeing things, but I was the only one that wasn't seeing anything. I was like, they're not bothering me. I ain't
Mm-hmm.
bothering nobody, so nobody's bothering me. But I was like, my daughter she wasn't able to sleep, and then she kept telling me that she was seeing this thing, this tall woman with long hair and dark eyes, and at first, I thought it was, the games that she was playing, because Roblox has some weird behavior on there. So at first, I was like, huh, maybe it's just the game. And then I remember one day it was like 1:30 in the morning, and I was making myself something, a tea. And she comes into the kitchen, and she's like, Mommy. I was like, what? She's like, I keep seeing this girl with long hair and dark eyes. I was like, are you sure it's not from the game that you play with your cousin? Oh, and she was like, no, I keep seeing this. And I was like, okay, are you seeing it in the house, or are you seeing it outside? And she's like, I'm seeing it in the house. I was like, okay. So the next night I had slept with her, and she said she seen it again. But at that time I was in the bed with her. I was like, that's so strange. Like, I didn't see it. I didn't feel anything.
Mm-hmm.
So then I had wrote you, and I had explained to you what was happening, what she was seeing, and holding, like, I was like, hold on. Because I like I said, I was so I didn't believe her, and that's where I feel, that I felt so bad, because it was really, really bothering her. So when I wrote you, you looked into it, and you had said it kind of gives, like, the Llorona vibes, and I was like, like, how? So I was like, okay, so that you had told me, let me look into it at night, and then I'd let you know. And then sure enough, it's crazy that now my daughter has the ability to feel and see things too. Like, I was so, like, shook whenever, when she told me that, because I thought the experience that we were going through before was just that. I didn't expect it to affect her even after. I feel like you helping me, opening up my third eye, is that how you would say it, helped her too. because now she's able to tell me maybe there may be a instance where I may not be able to feel something, and she'll be able to feel it, and then I can, before it gets too in debt and too crazy, she'll be able to help me get the help we need. I was worried because me and my husband were talking about it last night or the night before. She was walking a weird way, and I didn't pay attention until he brought it up. He's like, yeah, she's like walking like on her tippy toes. I was like, "Are you sure?" And he was like, "Yeah." This was before. I was like, I didn't like catch on to it." But then she had her hair down. And I was like,
Mhm.
it's so weird how these things can affect, and I didn't, like I said, I didn't see it. I don't know if I wasn't seeing it because it wasn't like personally bothering me or attached to me, but I was like, this is not okay. And it sucks because it hurts me that she's only 12 years old and she's being attacked. Like that's not I don't take my child very lightly. So I was like, you're about to be gone. But it's definitely this whole journey has helped us in so many ways. I mean, we are now more spiritual clean. We do washes, we mop the floor, we light incense, we make sure that we have the protection that we have, because I don't want to go through that again. And it kind of worries me with the move, just because I'm like, I hope I don't move into a home that already has something, so I'm definitely going to be reaching out to you when I
That's
have
why
that
you
new
have me,
address.
so
Yeah.
I can check it.
Yeah, it's just like I said, if this message helps anyone, even after you helped with the home and the land and all that, you're still helping me, because I'm grateful that I have you, because man, I would have let it. I was thinking about it too, like what would have happened if I would have really ignored her.
It would have started controlling her.
Yes, so I'm glad that we were able to catch it soon, because she was already
Mhm.
falling into like a depression. She was already talking about, oh, I'm too overweight, and she weighs 110 pounds. So there were so many things that I was noticing, that she was like, oh, I'm overweight. Oh, my hair is not like long enough. Like there were so many things, and I was like, where is this coming from? And then
Mhm.
before her telling me that she's seen the Llorona, she was telling me these things, and I was like, I am so happy that this child is accepting her gifts, because if not, like I said, it would have, just with the time, it would have got stronger, and it would have been worse. Like
Yeah.
I, I would have been freaking out if I would have seen her crawling on the walls or something. Whenever you did your works and I came home from work that evening, I was like, this is another child. This is my child. She's like back to her normal self and being loud and playing. But if I ever feel anything like you're my main person, have you on speed dial, like, nope, we got to see what's going on. It's just, like I said, a lot of people downplaying what people feels is the biggest problem that we have.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've learned so much from you. There's so many things that I've taken back from this whole experience. I know what signs to look for. I know that it's not me being crazy. It's me, and so it's like now, like I said, it goes back to me being able to catch things sooner. And like sometimes, like people, one of my biggest things is my intuition was being played with. And now, nope, nobody can tell me nothing. Nope. Mm-mm.
Mhm.
But I appreciate you for sticking with me through this journey, because I thought there was some days that it wasn't, like I thought there was some days like, man, maybe she's gonna get overwhelmed. Maybe, like especially the day that you went in and you removed the things from my husband. That day
Mm.
I remember was so intense.
That was a
Um,
crazy day.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. It was so, I thought that day I was like, yeah, this is gonna be like she's gonna not gonna want to finish, or whatever the case may be. And then but it's like you were there the whole way and you didn't give up. And I was like, that was another one of my concern, was like, how about if it was too intense for you, that you weren't gonna be able to finish? And it was because that last road, that last little bit was so bad. I still remember I was going to go to work, and he had called me, and he was having an anxiety attack. But that freaking spirit had a way of playing and convincing. And I went home. Um, I had went home, and he was hiding behind the apartment, and he just like came at me. And it's crazy because after like after I was able to really see what was going on, like I knew, like it's just it's weird how to explain it, because it's like it was him, but I would
But then you
see.
you you see like a mask basically
Yes,
over,
and I
yeah.
remember it was that, and then we had thought we were done, I think it was, remember, and then there was that one that was still hiding.
Yeah.
And that night before was so intense. I remember I felt like I felt so sick. Like I felt like so drained. I felt like I had to throw up. I didn't like, it was so bad. Like, my home spirit that I have, thanks to you, he ran him out. He was able to run him out. And I remember like he ran like he was running from the police, and he didn't understand. He didn't understand what
Mhm.
was going on, and it was for my protection and to get him out the house. But I mean, from you helping me from the sigils, I'll always go to you no matter what. And I'm glad that, there's times where I don't know what I'm doing, but you're holding my hand throughout the way to let me know, like, you do it like this, you do it like this, you do it like this. And then I send you pictures of what I'm doing, and you're doing a good job, you're doing this. Like, you're not bothered to help. So if anybody needs help, give Jasira a call. It will not hurt. We had a person too, who we thought we were helping, but he was only making things worse. So I don't take it lightly as well with sending, people who I care for to you to get help, because I know you're gonna be there. And if you can't help them, I know you'll say, I can't help you, but I don't think there's anything that you can't handle.
Such high praise. Thank you.
Hmm.